Hello, fabulous friends and fans. Welcome to this special series of videos on natal planets conjunct the nodes and transiting planets conjunct the nodes. Originally, when I created these videos, they ended up being over an hour long, where I went through the sky and talked about each of the planets. Now, what I've done is I've edited these videos down so that you can get right to the information that you want. Look at the exact planet that you want. I want to thank you so much for watching, and thank you especially for the suggestions that you guys give me on the videos that you want to see in the YouTube comments, on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and of course my website, NadiaShah.com. Please do keep those questions, suggestions, interactions, and positive energy coming. It really does mean so much to me. And if you like these videos, please share them. And of course, let me know online. Enjoy. With Venus conjunct the South Node, I mean, these are people who have some very strong sort of past life romantic karma that they're working out in this life. And I have to say that these types of people, they tend to make decisions in the early part of life, romantic decisions, that maybe after the Saturn return, once they turn 30, they look back on, they go, oh, wow, I wanted something totally different at that time. And so when I see things like this, there tends to be a very strong understanding of who they're sort of linked with. They have strong reactions to romantic partners very early on in the connection, in the meeting, and they seem to know right away that, okay, this is a person that I want, that I'm connected to. Now, that doesn't mean if somebody has, depending again on how that is aspected, the sign, the house placement, of course, but that particular Venus can either mean that this person finds their mate very early in life if they have it conjunct the South Node, or it means that they have completely different type of romantic connections in the early part of life than they do in the later part of life. And that will depend largely on the sign placement and in particular how that Venus is aspected. So, for example, if Venus is in hard aspect to Uranus, okay, if I'm seeing something like that, that to me is going to speak volumes about how much, just as it sounds, right? If it's squaring Uranus, then really that is likely to be a person who changes tremendously what it is that they want in partnership after they have their Saturn return. If that particular Venus conjunct the South Node is in, I have found, in an air sign as well, because air tends to be very changeable. And so that's also an indication that this person will have different romantic inclinations in the first part of life than in later life. Venus conjunct the North Node. Well, let me just say one more thing. Like Earth tends to be pretty steady. And so if that particular Venus is Earth, then, and it might be, let's say, trine Saturn, for example, then that's likely to be a person who connects with somebody early in life and says, you know, this is it for me in this life, and sticks with that, connects with somebody in an early age and stays the whole way through. Venus conjunct the North Node. Now, if you think about it, and I've shared this in videos in the past, Venus has been understood differently. And if you think about it, because as the ruler of Taurus and Libra, expresses itself differently as well. And I was really influenced by the symposium, Socrates saying and describing the difference between earthly Aphrodite and celestial Aphrodite. And to me, earthly Aphrodite is Taurus and celestial Aphrodite is Libra. And what I mean by that is Aphrodite can express herself in a way of just enjoying pleasures, right? Enjoying the five senses, enjoying food, enjoying wine, enjoying being connected to another person, all those pleasures of the earth that we consider. And Venus conjunct the South Node is more likely to manifest in these ways and as earthly Aphrodite. But Venus conjunct the North Node, again, all else being equal, science, all else being equal, Venus conjunct the North Node is going to bring about an understanding of Venus that is much more about her celestial understanding. This is about figuring out what beauty is going to mean for you, and a beauty that is enlightened, seeing beauty of ideas, of forms, beauty of truth as well. And so this becomes a very enlightened understanding of Venus. It becomes about love. Yes, it can be romantic love, absolutely. But it's about defining it for yourself and thinking about how your romantic connections are not just about the love that you experience, but also how they are moving all aspects of your life towards greater love and greater wisdom. So it becomes a more enlightened understanding of love and of Venus as well. Also, what I found with Venus conjunct the North Node, this is an aspect of blessing. And so Venus ultimately also represents being worthy of receiving, knowing that you are worthy of receiving. And so you're going to attract people who are part of affirming that lesson to you. Also, Venus, because it can denote people, as well, Venus conjunct the North Node would bring people into your life carrying karmic blessings who are most likely female or have very strong female energy, people who are beautiful sometimes, right? People who look very beautiful as well. And this tends to be also that relationships, the connections you have romantically, even though they always are part of moving you towards greater love and greater wisdom, there's always a connection. If you have a strong connection to somebody romantically, I'm of the belief that that's the way it's supposed to be. Like if somebody really affects you on that deep of a level, chances are there is a very strong connection. You could say going back, you could say they evoke something very powerful in you. But Venus conjunct the North Node is indicative of attracting romantic experiences that clarify your path forward and just really coming to understand that you are very worthy of being loved and seeing just how loved you can be. All of that propelling you into the future.